Hi, welcome to Gemini Star Spiritual Wellness. Thank you for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here with me for this video. So, in today's video, we're doing our weekly tarot card reading for the first week of March, March 1st through 7th, 2026, for the collective. So, this is for everybody. So, let's see what's coming up for this upcoming week for everyone, for the whole collective. And I do want to let you all know that I recently did 2 special tarot card readings. I did a twin flame one a couple weeks ago, and then like a week or I think it was like a week before that was a general masculine feminine energy reading. I just wanted to see I felt a shift in the energy between men and women and how they relate and get along in relationships. So I wanted to do a reading on that. So that's there as well. So if you're interested in those, just go back and look. I don't remember the dates that they came out, but that I had them posted, but they're there for you. So I do want to thank all my subscribers. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so that you get future videos I put out. And I also want to ask you to hit that like button so this will go out to other people that need to see this information, because you're always drawn to a reading for a reason, so there's something in there that you need to learn about or to know. So please hit that like button. And it also helps the channel to grow as well. And take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. So let's see what's going on. We're getting into a new month. So let's see what's coming up this week for the collective. I feel like, so far in 26, it's been like a lot of really intense energy. So let's see what's going on. So, what is the energy for the collective for the week of March 1st through 7th, 2026? Okay, let's see what's going on. All right, so we've got the 7 of Cups, we've got the Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, move the microphone here. We've got the 6 of Swords. I haven't seen that one in a while. 7 of Wands, the Empress, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, so coming into the first week of March, March 1st through 7th, coming into this week, it's like the collective, there's a big shifts going on with the collective. The wheels turning, big like fated and destined shifts are going on with the collective. And it's like it's happening on a global scale, of course, but it's also happening individually as well. So I feel like it's happening globally, but it's also happening in our personal lives as well. But big shifts. And I'm seeing planets, and I'm hearing that the energy of the planets, the energy of the eclipses are pushing us into our new destined paths. So it's time for humanity, and it's time for us on a personal level as well to start down new paths, to start going into our mission, they're saying. So there's like missions we need to fulfill. There's things we need to accomplish, humanity and us, even as individuals, and we're being pushed in that direction by the energy. So we did have a solar eclipse in February a couple weeks ago, and then we have a lunar eclipse coming up. I believe it's March. Well, it's during this week, March 3rd. So it's like that energy. It's been real intense for the last couple weeks, and I know I've been feeling it. Like I've been having like physical symptoms from it. So there's a lot of energy flowing around, and they're saying that that eclipse energy, plus just everything that's going on in general, astrology wise, is helping to push humanity into this new direction because the wheel has to turn. It's fated and destined for things to change. So that's in the past. So that's already been, the wheel's already been turning. It's already going, but it's going to continue to go. And it's fated and destined for this change to happen. And what also is interesting is the 7 of Cups. So this is us in the current energy. So there definitely is a lot of confusion. So for some of you, you might be having confusion in your personal lives, not quite sure what to do. It's like you feel like you're in the fog. It's like you're lacking clarity on things and you're not quite sure what to do. And they're saying that you're probably feeling like you're feeling the intuitively that this Wheel of Fortune energy is in place and it's pushing you to go down a path and in a certain direction, but you don't have the clarity yet. And you still feel kind of foggy about it. Like you're not quite sure, what decisions to make, what to do. There's this like level of fog there. It's like you're looking for clarity. So even though you intuitively feel guided and the energy's pushing us that direction, with the wheel turning, there's still a little bit of like fog in your head and unclarity. So, but that's going to change because you've got the Ace of Swords here in the current energy. So the collective is going to be getting a lot of truth, a lot of knowledge, like thoughts, information, and facts coming out, like a new beginning. It's like the floodgates are opening on this, and there's going to be a new beginning of transparency, a new beginning of disclosure coming out. And that's going to be in our personal lives, but also on a global level too. So it's like, in your personal life, you're going to be getting truth, knowledge, like I said, the floodgates are going to open and it's the new beginning and truth coming out. But it's like facts and information and knowledge and thoughts and ideas all coming. And that's going to help alleviate this feeling of like fogginess, this confusion. It's going to help kind of break that up in your head. This information coming out. And I feel like now they're saying as a collective globally, it's the same thing. Like, globally, humankind is feeling confused because there's so much, going on, so much change. And they feel the energy of the new beginning, of the changes coming and this going down a different path. But there's still a lot of confusion. It's like they feel the energy of it, but their mind hasn't caught up with it yet. And there's still kind of this confusion and lack of clarity, but that's going to change because we've got this in the universe. The divine's bringing this change in. See that little hand? He's making it happen. He's bringing it in. The universe is like, okay, it's time for us to get clear-headed, move forward with this wheel. It's time to move forward. So, and also we're leaving stuff behind. So you're leaving behind things that are no longer in alignment with you. You're going from like choppy water to smoother water. Because you can see this man on this boat. There's a little woman and a child in the boat. And they're leaving this water behind that's been kind of, see my finger, kind of choppy. And they're going to the smoother water over here. So we're leaving as a global collective, we're leaving and going into from choppy water to smoother water. But also in our personal lives, we're leaving things behind that are no longer in alignment with us and moving towards, you know, more like smoother sailing, so to speak, to better things, leaving behind the things that are no longer in alignment that were choppy, and we're moving into better things for ourselves as individuals and globally. So this is all the current energy I have for us as a collective. So this is all currently happening. So, we've got that we're foggy brained, or sorry, over here, confused. It's like truth's coming out, information, disclosure, transparency, all these things are coming out. And that's going to help us move. It's going to help unfog our brains and give us clarity, but also help us move to calmer waters as a humanity and be able to follow the energy of this wheel because the energy is pushing us to move forward with that. So in the near future, there's going to be a sense of being defensiveness. So what I'm hearing, so this hasn't happened yet. This is in the near future, but it's coming, and it's coming because of all of this that's going on. So there's all this energy floating around, all this stuff going on, and this is all current, like I said, and it's going to kick up some contention to the point where we might feel like we have to defend ourselves. So on a personal level, it's like you want to go to smoother sailing, you want to get out of choppy waters, maybe leave a situation behind that's no longer in alignment with you. You're getting out of you're getting clarity out of the foggy brain, and you want to follow the the wheel of fortune. You want to follow the energy that's pushing you. It's energetically pushing you forward, and you can feel it. But there might be some people around you that aren't happy with that, because if they have been, and I'm hearing like, if they have been comfortable with the way things are, and all of a sudden it's like you're no longer in alignment with this situation and you're growing and you want to leave, that's going to make them, contentious towards you, because it's like, hey, wait a minute. I like the way things are. What are you doing? You're changing things up. They're not going to be happy about that. And they're also telling me, if someone's been kind of taking advantage of you and they like the way things were because it worked for them. Like, what I mean, like, they liked how things were between you because they were like kind of taking advantage of you, and it made things better for them, even if it didn't make it better for you. But they it's like they got an advantage out of it somehow. And all of a sudden it's like, you're changing things up, and they're not happy about that because they were, basically taking advantage of you, or it was the way things were was to their betterment. But it was like to their betterment, but not yours. And so they're like going to fight against that because they're not going to be happy about it. So you're going to have to kind of stand your ground and be like, no, this is what's best for me. So what I'm hearing is you have to do what's best for you. Don't worry about other people's issues. Don't worry about inconveniencing them, or, it's time now for you to do what's best for you. And it's time for you to leave situations that have been choppy, that have not been in alignment with where you're going. So it could be like these people are trying to keep you small. They're trying to keep you low, low vibrational, because you rising up is threatening their situation, and they're not happy about that. So they're going to try to what they can to keep you small. But the universe is saying, I'm hearing like, don't let that stop you. Like, you need to do what's best for you and follow this energy. If your intuition's telling you that it's time to change things up and go down a different path and leave something behind, then do it. And I think for us, on a personal level, for like a lot of us, part of the problem is there's this confusion. So what I mean by that is, say you're in a situation and, society norms say that, like, say you're in a relationship and you're in a marriage. I'm just going to use this as an example. And the relationship is like emotionally dead. Okay, it's died. It's like there's no more growth to it. It's like there's really no future. It's just kind of like holding space, but the relationship is basically over. But you're staying together because of, financial reasons, or because that's what's expected. You've got maybe kids together, but it's not fulfilling. And intuitively, like, it's time for you to leave this situation because it's just, you're not getting anything out of it. There's no growth, and it's time to leave. Like, the relationship has run its course and you can feel that. But there's some sense of confusion about, that's been keeping you kind of stuck. And the confusion as far as like, how can I, like, how can you rectify leaving? It's like, well, maybe they're not that bad of a person. It's not that bad of a situation. Like, there's no abuse or whatever, or addiction involved. But at the same time, it's like, you just know this relationship has ended. It's come to an end. Because, we've been so programmed and indoctrinated that, you get married and you never get divorced, and you stay with this person, even if you're miserable for your whole life. But it's like, so it's like you were clouded, like some of us might have been clouded by what society expects from us, like expectations put on us from society. So it could be like family members, or like, kind of putting expectations on you to stay. And, it's like you feel this kind of like you're kind of stuck. But I feel like if that resonates with you, what I just said, I feel like you're going to come to truth within yourself, that you need to follow your intuition and get out of it. So it's like you're going to come to a point within yourself that's going to override what everybody else wants you to do. And you're going to do what's best for you. and you're going to leave that situation behind. But there's going to be some pushback. Maybe family members aren't going to be happy about that decision, or your friends, or the spouse that you're leaving. I mean, so there's people that were benefiting from the way things were, and they don't want it to change because they were benefiting from it in the old way. But you have to, and they keep stressing to me, you have to do what's right for you. You have to take the reins and stop putting other people ahead of you and start doing what's best for you. So you're going to have to be defensive. You're probably going to have to stand up for yourself. And I feel now I'm shifting to the global perspective. I think with all this information, disclosure coming out, all these changes, and us as humanity, people have been confused because there's just so much changing. But it's like there's going to be some people that are going to fight against the new way of doing things. And it makes me think back to, and if you've seen the movie The Matrix, it makes me think back to Nero, and I can't think of the other guy's name, but they're sitting in the chairs and he's talking about the blue pill, the red pill, and he's giving Nero the option. Morpheus, that's what his name was. And he's giving Nero the option of what pill to take. And he says, well, you have to understand that there are people that are so entrenched in the old system that they will fight against the new system with everything they have because it's a threat to their security. It's, in their mind, it's a threat to what they're used to because they're so entrenched and invested in the old system. So I feel like in humanity, that's kind of what some of us are going to be experiencing is, there's a shift coming of the new coming in and the old dying off of the old systems and stuff. And there's some people that are really going to have a hard time with that. So we might have to be kind of defensive with ourselves to support the change, the new that's coming in. So there's going to be some people that aren't going to be happy about it, about what's going on. And they might have that very contentious mindset where we feel like we have to kind of stand up for ourselves. So that's in the near future. And so the cards I got for advice cards is there's definitely some worry and concern and anxiety going on globally. Like I said, because of the changes and the confusion and the disclosure and transparency, there's all this stuff coming out, and it's kind of overwhelming humanity. And there's definitely a sense of anxiety and concern, um, especially if you haven't spiritually awakened yet. It's going to seem like but you're being bombarded with all of this. So, but it's unnecessary worry and concern because what's coming, the new things coming in with this Wheel of Fortune is going to be so much better than where we've been, but they don't see that yet. So there's this anxiety and worry and anxiousness about it. Now, in your personal life, it could be the very well same thing. Like if you're leaving some things behind that are no longer in alignment with you, and you're trying to, you're following your intuition, the Wheel of Fortune's moving forward, and fate and destiny's pushing you down this path, you could definitely have a sense of anxiety and worry. But what they're saying is don't let it get to you because it's unnecessary. But it can be expected because there's so many changes happening in your life that you feel kind of, very anxious and worried about it, but it's really nothing to worry about because things are going to work out. And like I said, you might have to stand up for yourself with your decisions. Like there's going to be some people that aren't going to be happy with your decisions that you're making for yourself, and you're going to have to defend them. So that could be also adding the anxiety and worry. But everything's going to work out because this is the other advice card. So we're going to be in Empress mode, Empress energy. It's like we're rebirthing a new life for ourselves individually, but also on a global collective. Humanity is like we're rebirthing a new abundant life for ourselves because the Empress is like the embodiment of all the queens of tarot. And, she's loving, she's nurturing, but she stands up for herself, and she's, sovereign and independent, and she got her stuff together. See? So she's in a good place. And that's how humanity's going to be. We're going to be more sovereign and independent. We're going to be able to be more in charge of our, fate and destiny. We're not going to be limited because of society's, rules that were keeping us down. policies and institutions and systems that were keeping us down. Like all of that's going to be done away with. And we're going to be able to go into this emperor energy and rebirth it, a new, like a new world, kind of be in this emperor energy of loving and nurturing, but rebirthing the earth to what we want it to be, but also on an individual level within your life. You're going to be rebirthing. So you're leaving this behind, and you're rebirthing a new life for yourself and following. And it all goes back to following, going along with the wheel here of fortune and going along with your fate, destiny, going down that new path, following your intuition. And like I said, there might be some people that aren't going to be happy with the change, but you're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to follow your intuition and go for it. And that's what you're going to decide to do. Like you might get some pushback, but it's time. It's time for you, and I keep emphasizing, I keep hearing it's time for you to put yourself first. Instead of like worrying what people are going to think, or worrying about it goes against society's norms, or worrying about, society expectations or expectations of other people. It's like you have to do what's right for you at this point. So that's, pretty deep reading for the collective for this first week of March, but that's what I have for you all. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.